Hey everybody, this week we are going to talk about the Chrysler LeBaron of Team Go for Broke. That is spelled the Cajun way, by the way. They race out of New Orleans. They're awesome. They're one of my favorite teams.
The LeBaron is like any number of American nameplates. It's been applied to a wide and very different range of vehicles. We've talked about this on Lemons World before. We talked about the Pontiac Lemons, which over the years has been a humongous and awesome land yacht, which has raced in Lemons. It has also been a pathetic and totally embarrassing South Korean captive import, which obviously also has raced in Lemons.
Originally, LeBaron, it was an extremely high-end bodymaker. This is going back, I guess, to the 20s. If you had a Duesenberg, if you had a Packard, you had a Cadillac, you really wanted this thing to be like, delicioso, you'd go to LeBaron. They'd put this huge, fabulous, fancy body on it. Well, they wound up having a particular relationship with Chrysler, and by leading up to World War II, Chrysler had just said, okay, you're us. And they had appropriated the name, they'd appropriated all the branding. They were just making a LeBaron.
That's right. LeBaron was really the very top trim level of the already pretty fancy Chrysler Imperial. That continued after the war. From 1955 through 1975, the LeBaron remained as this sort of top version of the Imperial, although I will say, once you start getting the 70s, you're getting into that Malaise era, and the once super fancy top-of-the-line Imperial was starting to look a little rough around the edges.
And against that very promising backdrop, in 1977, LeBaron, it gets split off, forms its own model. Although technically, really, it's just a dressed-up Cordoba.
No, actually, the 77 LeBaron was based on a Plymouth Volare.
Really? I'm pretty sure it was a Cordoba.
Nope, definitely a Volare.
Yeah, you're right. I'm looking at it right now. And yeah, so the Cordoba was only a V8 two-door person electric coupe. That's it.
Yeah, and for the record, the Volare was technically a compact car. There was a four-door sedan, two-door coupe, and for a time, a four-door wagon. If you thought that a car based on a Plymouth Volare was bad, there were even worse things to come in 1982, when the LeBaron name was moved over to the infamous K-car platform. To be fair, like all other K-cars, the 82 through 1988 LeBaron was a cost-effective way for Chrysler to platform share and get a whole bunch of models out that had the same architecture. And hey, the LeBaron, you could get wood grain.
And then, for the following, and it turned out final version of LeBaron, they moved to an entirely new platform, which was actually just a slightly stretched K-car platform called the AA, which I think is appropriate because it was the Acclaim, it was the Spirit, it was a whole bunch of cars in addition to the LeBaron, which if you owned one, you would have to become an alcoholic or else you couldn't tolerate it. That's maybe a little harsh to alcoholics.
And it's that version of the LeBaron that we're here to talk about. This is the 1994 final model year Chrysler LeBaron of Go for Broke Racing. Again, bunch of great guys from Louisiana racing down there in the Lemons Gulf region.
They were not the first people to race this car at Lemons. That actually was Michael Spank Spangler, Lemons legend, and he got this car when he accidentally won an auction and paid $50 for it. He got it in Southern California, drove it all the way to MSR Houston for a race, and about halfway to Houston realized, I don't want this car. I never want to be in this car again. This is a horrible car. And this is Spank talking.
Halfway through that MSR race, Spank found himself an internet connection, posted the car on local Houston Craigslist, and these dudes came all the way from Baton Rouge to pick it up.
They've taken it out at NOLA a handful of times, and they've done really well. They've won the IOE with it. They've won the Org Choice with it. Every time they enter it, they make sure to add to their entry Chrysler LeBaron, Landau Edition. Has a Mitsubishi engine.
That's a Mitsubishi 6G72 V6.
Has a 6G72 V6 Mitsubishi engine in it.
No shit.
Half vinyl roof. Of course, that's the definition of a Landau Edition.
Semi-notably, this car also has the Ultra Drive automatic transmission, which was originally designed to be paired with this Mitsubishi 6G72 V6. But this transmission has appeared as recently as 2020. I had a rental Dodge Journey for a Lemons race in Colorado, And, if something has been around for that long, much like the LeBaron, it must be good.
Yeah, so Chrysler LeBaron, the car may be gone, but the quality lives on.